I would suffocate in my sleep. Long story short, it was very traumatic. Firstly, I'm going to apologize for the lighting in this video. I might be a little off color at some point. I genuinely apologize. Anyways, happy Thyroid Cancer Awareness Month, everybody. If you guys didn't know, September is Thyroid Cancer Awareness Month. This is my first video for the month, and I am going to be talking about my misdiagnosis. You got that right, your girl was misdiagnosed twice. So let's just get into it. Before I start, if you haven't already, please check out my thyroid archive playlist. I will leave that linked down below. It's got my story from how I found out I had cancer, blah, 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 through when I had radiation, everything. So I'm still adding to it, and I encourage you to check that out. So this all started back in about 2015, early 2015, when my grandma discovered the golf ball sized lump in my throat. I would suffocate in my sleep. Long story short, it was very traumatic. Basically, it would just lay on my windpipe if I laid the wrong way. It was very, very painful. So throughout 2015, I was seeing my endocrinologist, who I get to go see pretty soon. He's my favorite. He's awesome. And it was just diagnosed as a cyst. The ultrasound showed absolutely nothing. But because I was having so much breathing trouble, they decided to operate on me anyways. But first, I had to have biopsies. I should mention right here that I went for 2 surgeries. I had one to remove the left side of my thyroid and I'm getting ahead of myself. So I went for my first biopsy about 4 months before my first surgery. So that would have been in about September. So this time, 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago. Closer to 3 years. Biopsies are literally the scariest thing that I've ever experienced. I ended up having 2 biopsies on the same day. They wanted to make sure that this whole side of my neck was okay, which I don't know why they wasted their time. They didn't find anything anyways. The first needle went into the lump that was right here. I can actually feel where like they took it out, like there's a little gap. Ooh, that feels uncomfortable. And they put a needle closer in through here on the back of my ear. Now, for this one, the numbing only went so far. So trigger warning, if you don't like needles, pause. I could feel the needle going into my ear. Like it literally felt like they were in my eardrum with a needle, and it was terrifying. I actually got really sick after the biopsies. I don't know why. Probably because I had cancer in my body and I didn't realize, but after they were poking and prodding around in there, I went home. I threw up for a long time. I was very sick. Anyways, the second biopsy would have been 2 months before surgery. So that would have been in late November. Happy birthday to me. They still found nothing, and that was still horrifying. I had my first surgery on January 18th, 2016. Do I have pictures of this? I'm gonna see if I have pictures of this one, and if I do, I will insert it here. But I was told everything was absolutely fine by the doctors at the hospital. I had the golf ball sized cyst removed and the left side of my thyroid removed. I went home for an entire week thinking that I was absolutely fine. Fast forward to January 26, 2016, the day before my mom's birthday. I remember this day like it was so vivid in my mind because Marcel and I didn't have enough change with us to both get on the bus, so I went alone to my surgeon to get my stitches removed, and as he was pulling out my stitches, he goes, "Well, we found cancer." I know they have to like break the news to you because they're like trained to do it that way, but damn, that really hurt my heart and soul. I remember going to my mom's work and just standing at the counter and being like, "Listen, dude, I have cancer." I knew it. So when I say like I knew it, like before I even met Marcel, I had an inkling that I was sick. I wasn't doing too well before I met him, and even before we started dating, I let him know that, listen, I genuinely think that something is wrong with me and I don't think that I am well. He was fine with it. And let me tell you, he is literally the strongest person I have ever met in my life. Like, he put everything aside for a while in his life. He met me when I was literally 3 months clean from opiate addiction. And I just found out I had cancer right after we started dating. And he stayed with me through all of the panic attacks, through all of the doctor's appointments, through all of the money we had to spend in the beginning on all the medication I had to take. It all instantly became a we fight, and I will forever be grateful. He made me want to live my life that much more, and I guarantee I always say this, if it wouldn't have been for him, I probably would be dead. So knowing I had cancer, we had to start preparing for treatment, and March 31st, 2016, I had my second surgery where the right side of my thyroid and 14 of my lymph nodes were removed. Pre-surgery, I had one more biopsy and it actually showed cancer this time. So from all this, I was diagnosed with just a minor cyst on my thyroid. And the end result was cancer spreading into 14 of my lymph nodes and throughout my entire thyroid. Both times I had surgery, I threw up violently when I came out of the anesthetic because I don't do well under anesthetic. Even when I went for my colonoscopy, I didn't stay under well and they kept having to pump me with anesthetic. And when you have a colonoscopy, you don't have anything left in your system. And I violently dry heaved for nearly half an hour. I don't know what it is with the anesthetic. If you guys can let me know what that might be, I would greatly appreciate it. But let me tell you, throwing up after fresh throat surgery is the most painful thing you could ever experience. After this, I had radioactive iodine ablation therapy. I think I made a video about this. If not, I will make an entire video about this. Once I took that radiation pill, I'm gonna say 9 hours after, my entire neck was literally fire engine red. It was terrifying. Not the same for everybody, but still scary. I am now just about 2 full years in remission. 2015 was a big year. 2016 was a big year. I found out that I was cancer-free in October of 2016. That's when I started my YouTube channel, and I've been making videos here ever since. I am just about at my 250th video, if you can believe that. But I mean, this is what makes me so happy, and this is what keeps me going. I just love interacting through video and letting you guys know my life experiences and just building a really positive community here. I love YouTube so much. I also want to mention that I am 3 full years clean from opiate addiction, and that shit was rough. I'm not even gonna go there, but wrong people, wrong time in my life. I'm just so thankful for the life that I have now, and I just want to spread the most positivity that I can, because not many people can say that they had cancer and don't. That's kind of grim. We're gonna leave that there for today. I hope that you guys had an amazing weekend. I will leave my Thyroid Archive playlist linked down below. Like I mentioned, it's usually always in any of my videos in the description box. But as I always say in these videos, if you guys have any speculations that you might be sick or that something is wrong and you just don't feel right, and deep down you might know something is crucially wrong, please don't ever let it go overlooked. I was about to let it go overlooked, and that wouldn't have been pretty. Your life is valuable, your life is so precious, and I have learned that the hard way. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Sayonara, suckers.